Welcome to Global Hub Updates. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Tension hangs over the South China Sea, a region where every wave seems to carry the weight of history and unresolved disputes. The waters are restless, patrolled by ships from rival nations, each one watching the other with suspicion and resolve. In this charged atmosphere, a battered Philippine supply boat edges cautiously toward the BRP Sierra Madre, a rusting outpost marooned on Ayungin Shoal. The ship, once a proud naval vessel, now stands as a symbol of defiance and sovereignty, its corroded hull weathering both the elements and the constant threat of confrontation. Suddenly, Chinese Coast Guard ships appear on the horizon, sirens blaring, cutting off the Filipino vessel with intimidating precision. Their aggressive maneuvers leave no doubt about their intentions: to block, to intimidate, to assert dominance in these contested waters. Water cannons erupt without warning, hammering the small boat with powerful jets, a clear and forceful warning to turn back. The crew braces against the onslaught, determined not to yield. This is no movie. It's the stark reality of November 2025, unfolding in real time, before the eyes of the world. The world watches, breath held, as sparks fly dangerously close to igniting a larger conflict. Newsrooms buzz with updates, and ordinary people anxiously follow every development, aware that the consequences could ripple far beyond these waters. Outmatched but undeterred, the Filipino crew presses on, determined to resupply their isolated outpost and assert their nation's rights. Their mission is more than a delivery. It's a statement of courage and national pride. The Chinese ships form a wall of steel, enforcing a claim rejected by international law but pressed with relentless force. Their blockade is both a show of strength and a challenge to the global order. Each standoff is a test of will, a small nation's defiance against a superpower's ambitions. The tension is palpable, the stakes impossibly high. Every successful mission is a victory, every setback a reminder of the power imbalance. Yet each return to port, battered but unbroken, inspires hope and unity back home. The question looms larger with every encounter. What if the next escalation is deadly? Military analysts debate scenarios, and navies prepare for the unthinkable. Could the Philippines, standing alone, truly withstand China's might? The answer is uncertain, but the resolve is unwavering. The answer lies not just in weapons, but in strategy, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of a people united in defense of their sovereignty. In the face of overwhelming odds, it is this spirit that may ultimately decide the fate of the Ayungin Shoal. On paper, the idea of the Philippines defeating China seems absurd. China's military and economic power dwarfs the Philippines, with a defense budget over 20 times larger and a navy that dominates the region. But history is full of surprises. Smaller nations have resisted giants through grit, strategy, and national will. The real question isn't about winning a conventional war, but about making aggression too costly for China to pursue. Victory for the Philippines could mean defending key territories, maintaining sovereignty, and rallying its people to endure. It's a battle of endurance, not annihilation, a war of 1,000 cuts. This is the lens through which a Filipino victory must be viewed. The Philippines and China are economic partners and rivals, bound by billions in trade and investment. Chinese goods fill Manila's markets, and Filipino exports flow to China, creating mutual dependence. War would devastate the Philippine economy and hurt China's interests, disrupting supply chains and regional stability. This economic entanglement acts as a brake, making both sides wary of open conflict. Politically, Manila's approach swings between confrontation and pragmatism, with Beijing using economic leverage to reward or punish. Filipino leaders must balance defending sovereignty with protecting economic lifelines. The paradox: China builds bridges while blocking Filipino fishermen. Any conflict would emerge from this tangled relationship, making escalation a calculated risk for both sides. The path to war is never simple when so much is at stake. Nowhere is the tension sharper than in the West Philippine Sea, a vital lifeline for the Philippines. Rich fishing grounds and potential energy reserves make these waters crucial for food security and the nation's future. China's sweeping 9-dash line overlaps the Philippines' legal maritime claims, rejected by an international tribunal in 2016. China ignores the ruling, using Coast Guard and maritime militia to harass Filipino vessels and build artificial islands. These gray zone tactics, intimidation without open war, make response difficult. For Filipinos, this is not abstract. It's a daily fight for survival and dignity. Fishermen are driven away, their livelihoods threatened. The West Philippine Sea has become a symbol of sovereignty, a line in the sand. The government's ability to defend these waters is a test of national resolve. Any escalation will likely begin here, where the stakes are highest. Imagine gray zone pressure boiling over, a Philippine vessel sunk, casualties mounting, diplomacy collapsing. Manila demands justice, Beijing refuses, escalating with exclusion zones and blockades. The Philippines faces a choice: accept loss or fight back. A direct naval clash would pit a small fleet against China's might, risking rapid escalation. China could blockade ports, launch missile strikes, or wage cyber war, crippling infrastructure and spreading disinformation. The AFP would stand alone, managing military, economic, and internal crises. China's goal: a swift, decisive victory. The Philippines' goal: survive, resist, and make aggression too costly. In this high-stakes game, endurance and resilience become the true measures of success. The outcome would shape the region for years to come. The military gap between these two nations is truly staggering and cannot be overstated. China's People's Liberation Army, or PLA, boasts an impressive force of over 2 million personnel. Its defense budget is a colossal $230 billion, reflecting its global ambitions and military prowess. In stark contrast, the Philippines maintains a much smaller force of 140,000 troops. With only a fraction of China's budget, it fields a limited number of modern ships and aircraft, struggling to keep pace. China's Navy, the largest in the world, is equipped with aircraft carriers, destroyers, and submarines, showcasing its maritime dominance. Meanwhile, the Philippine Navy lacks submarines entirely and operates only a few modern frigates, highlighting its naval limitations. In the skies, China's advanced fighters and bombers significantly outclass the Philippines' small fleet of FA-50s, creating a stark aerial disparity. China's extensive missile arsenal has the capability to strike anywhere across the Philippine archipelago, overwhelming the nation's limited defensive measures. Economically, China stands as a global powerhouse, with its influence felt worldwide. The Philippines, while dynamic and growing, remains vulnerable to blockades and trade disruptions that could cripple its economy. A direct conventional war would be devastating for the Philippines, with severe consequences for its people and infrastructure. On paper, the outcome seems clear. The Philippines cannot win a symmetrical fight against such overwhelming odds. However, war is rarely fought on paper alone. It involves strategy, adaptability, and resilience. The real contest lies in how each side leverages its unique strengths and adapts to the ever-changing realities of conflict, where innovation and strategy can turn the tide. Geography is the Philippines' greatest asset. Its 7,600 islands create a maze of choke points, ideal for ambushes and guerrilla tactics. Any invasion would be a logistical nightmare for China, with every soldier and supply exposed to attack. The archipelago's vast coastline and rugged terrain favor asymmetric warfare, hit-and-run raids, sabotage, and local resistance. The AFP, fighting on home ground, would have the support of the population and intimate knowledge of the land and sea. Even without allies, the Philippines' location astride major sea lanes would draw global attention and economic pressure on China. Geography turns the archipelago into a natural fortress and a geopolitical tripwire. Any conflict here would ripple far beyond its shores. The land itself becomes a weapon. The Philippines' true strength lies in its people, a vibrant tapestry of cultures and traditions woven together over centuries. Forged by centuries of resistance, Filipinos possess a fierce love for their homeland and a spirit of unity, bayanihan, that becomes a force multiplier in crisis. This collective spirit has been the backbone of their resilience, enabling them to stand firm against any adversity. In times of war, every citizen could become a part of the defense. Fishermen as scouts navigating the seas, villagers as supporters providing essential resources, and the youth waging cyber resistance from computer labs, showcasing their adaptability and innovation. The Filipino diaspora, spread across the globe, would rally international support, turning public opinion against any aggressor, amplifying their voices in major cities worldwide. This whole-of-nation approach would make any occupation costly and unsustainable, as the seamless coordination between military and civilians would create a formidable defense. The contest would be one of wills. China would have to break not just the military, but the spirit of over 100 million Filipinos, a task that history has shown to be incredibly challenging. History shows this is no easy task. The Filipino people have a long legacy of resistance, from revolutions to anti-occupation protests, demonstrating their unwavering determination. An occupation would spark relentless insurgency, draining China's resources and reputation, as the Filipinos would fight tirelessly to reclaim their freedom. The Filipino spirit, resilient, defiant, and united, could prove decisive. In times of crisis, their unity and compassion shine through, reinforcing their resolve. In the end, it's not just about weapons, but about the unbreakable will to remain free, a testament to their enduring spirit and love for their homeland. Can the Philippines defeat China alone? Not in a conventional sense, the military gap is too wide. But victory isn't always about conquest. It's about denying the enemy's objectives and surviving against the odds. If the Philippines can make aggression too costly, defend its sovereignty, and rally its people, it can achieve a different kind of victory. The strategy: become a porcupine, painful to attack, impossible to subdue. Every island, every citizen, part of the defense. The cost would be immense, but so would the message. The spirit of a nation cannot be conquered. In the end, the world may see a David facing Goliath, but the heart of the Filipino people is a force all its own. That spirit is the ultimate deterrent.